well. What other cryptos are you interested in, Victoria? Are you one of these people? There is in this space you have the inverted commas Bitcoin maximalist, and they're the people that just
Yeah.
care about Bitcoin. They don't care about anything else. Are there any other cryptos
hmm
that you think are interesting or have potential or could go somewhere?
Well, I think everyone who gets involved in crypto, it's almost obligatory to kind of explore the altcoin space. It'd be rude not to. And also, it's part of your learning journey. Learning what they are all about. And so, as Bitcoin is a software protocol, all of these altcoins, they're just different rules that the software operates under. So what happens is it kind of becomes the perfect democracy. People can vote with their money as to which one has the best set of rules that they think will last long term, and it becomes this battle. And so in 2017 there was a lot of speculation over different altcoins and their potential for the future, and lots of different ideas, and there are still some interesting ideas. And what I would say is that Bitcoin is going to present us with a foundation or a framework for finance that has never existed before in history. So we're going to be entering a whole new world, and there may be lots of ways in which that could happen in the future. But again, if we look back at history, what tends to happen is all currencies kind of gravitate towards one, because you need one that's the foundation. Because in order to have in order to have trade between countries, people need a stable balance to measure something against in order to know how they're trading. And so up until 1913, that was gold. But of course, the arbitrage is very expensive because you had to move the gold around to whichever country was offering you the best interest rate. But of course, with Bitcoin, you don't have to do that, because you can send Bitcoin to anyone, anywhere in the world instantly. And so basically, what that means is that Bitcoin is perfectly set up to be this foundation. And once you have a foundation, everything else, unless it's better, is going to be measured off Bitcoin. So, at this early stage in the game, I would say Bitcoin has the most promise as an investment. You might be able to do quite well betting on the peaks and troughs with the trading with some of the altcoins, but I think you need to be a trader to do that, really.
For anybody who's listening, a lot of people who trade altcoins, probably the majority, they don't trade them to increase their holdings in dollar value. They don't care about that. They only trade them to increase their holdings in Bitcoin, because they believe that it's the
Mm-hmm.
only one that actually has long-term potential. The rest of them, just as Victoria says, they dip in and out of the market only as a means to an end. They envelop themselves in learning about the coins and trading the coins, not because they believe they have potential, only because they believe Bitcoin has potential, and they use those gains from other coins just to buy more Bitcoin. That is a little bit of a misconception for other people outside the space, who perhaps think that people believe in a lot of these coins. A lot of them people fully acknowledge they might even go to zero with time. That is what makes it so risky for people who are not involved in the space. Again, we're getting into a whole other kettle of fish and a debate here. Not everybody would agree with me on that one who's in the space, but certainly there are a lot who do. It's just another way of looking at it. Some people are only interested if the coin goes up in its Bitcoin value versus if the coin going up in its dollar value. Just an interesting one. And it just gives you a little bit of a window into the society and culture of people who do trade altcoins, because it's not all about, for them, actually believing in the project. In fact, lots of them just are clearly not good projects at all. Look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin did it 2 times on Sunday, and it outwardly acknowledges that it's based on a meme. It's a joke. It has no purpose, but people will still trade it just to make profit. It's a really interesting one, is that. Shivan Devani has asked, what altcoins do you recommend? That
I think we've covered
let's
that
just
one.
roll back on that one a little bit. Recommend
Don't
is
go there.
yeah, recommend is perhaps the word we wouldn't use, but
Yeah.
maybe what we could do is suggest some ones that we think are possibly solid projects, and you might like to do some further reading on. Would you like to do that, Victoria?
Could do. Well, obviously, Ethereum's the next big one that people talk about. I think Theta's quite interesting because that's about trying to decentralize the internet. although it's not really decentralized. A lot of people make that argument, but if you actually go onto their homepage, it talks about the fact that these are our rules for operating on a platform. It's like, what's decentralized about that? But it's done very well price wise, and I know there are quite a few people on YouTube who recommend it. Digibyte and Litecoin are derivatives of the original Bitcoin blockchain. So they've taken the original Bitcoin blockchain. They're trying to do different things with them. I know Digibyte in particular, their payment network's very fast. Litecoin is meant to be silver to Bitcoin's gold, but actually, if you look at the historical precedents of Bitcoin and silver, of gold and silver as money, I mean, silver eventually lost that ability once they figured out how to establish the paper value of gold. So I don't necessarily buy that argument as a monetary principle. So they're just a few names, but in the Bitcoin circles that I move in, they normally, if anyone talks about altcoins, their immediate very rude response is "have fun staying poor."
Yeah,
so,
there are some ones out there you might like to look into, but I think that a lot of them are total speculation. 3 that I like, Shivam, is Binance Coin, Link, and Dot. But you might want to do your own research into those. Just as I say, I think 3 projects that I think have potential. Their current prices at the minute, Link in particular, has just had a massive pump. I don't know whether at the moment it is a good time to buy Link if you're thinking about short-term profits. I do believe in the project in the long run, but as I say, it might be something, there's a good sort of foundation work that you might like to do. Look into these sorts of things further. I can recommend a great book on trading altcoins if you'd like to get into them a little further. It's called An Altcoin Trader's Handbook by Nick Patel. Give that a look. It's a great foundation or springboard before you begin to immerse yourself in that world. It is, of course, very speculative and potentially risky.